Yeah. hmm You know, as a parent, when I inform law enforcement that my rights are being violated, and a lot of parents don't like me talking into their lives. They're like, well, we need to do this for the safety of all the students. But as a parent, those kids are usually with their parents for the first 5 to 6 years of their lives. They're the ones that have to look at them and they have to kind of evaluate their health. Yes. A lot of parents do it unconsciously. Yeah. You look at them every day and you say, well, I don't think your immune system's prepared for that live virus just quite yet. Yeah. Now, you think it's abusive that I, as a parent, would look at each child that I had, yes, and then I think, well, I think we should wait on that one for another 6 months to make sure that your body's ready for it. Because anytime you introduce anything into the body of a child, yeah, you need to be consciously aware that each child that you have is different than the other child. Yes. What's good for one might not be good for the other. Yes. Yes. And then when they go to school, you don't want to be, well, labeled as a religious nut. Now, I'm thinking that I would use my education as justification to say, well, as a father, I looked at each of these different viruses that the law requires to be able to attend school. And in my opinion, my son's not, they're not ready for that one yet. Now, if you really look at the 72 live viruses and the combinations of them, and what I grew up with when I was little is I think we got three. We got like polio, measles, and mumps or something. Yes, yes. Somehow I lived through it. Okay. I don't know how. Okay. I know there's probably a lot of dead kids during the 1970s that lost it because they were dropping like flies because we didn't have all these other vaccinations that were required by law. And as much as I try to tell them, well, I don't really want you knowing my religion. Pooh. I don't want you, the school, saying, well, he's Mr. Pentecostal Holy Roller. And in his mind, we're all fucking idiots. But when you look at the individual child before they go to school, it's the parent's obligation to consider their health. And then when they do go to school, you have to ask yourself, well, what happens if you get the measles? Poop. What did they do before they had the vaccination? Now, I know 65, if I was given a guesstimation of the number of students in elementary schools throughout the state of Washington, approximately 7 million, there might be a half a million students that could be in. I know, it's an epidemic. Isn't that right? Poop. Now, why don't we look at what causes measles before we obligate every student to have that vaccine? Yes. That because I don't know what causes it. I mean, somebody out of the 65 had to be the first case of measles, right? And it's a contagious infectious disease. Yes. And before they had a vaccination, they had to do something about it. So, of the 65, which of those was the first reported case? Yes. And what was special about that fucking family, right? Because you make stupid fucking decisions based upon very little empirical evidence.